Hi there, welcome back. Welcome if you're a first time viewer. My name is Luma and I'm an energy intuitive. I make these videos to translate subtle energetic information into concepts and metaphors to help you understand and locate yourself in this massive ascension wave and ride that we are currently on right now. A lot I want to cover in this video. We're going to look at, we've just come through a huge expansion, a really massive, actually, quantum leap, okay? We're going through a period of withdrawing from the old matrix. So we're having withdrawal symptoms, okay? I'll talk a bit about that, how that's affecting our cognition, our biochemistry. What's going on in behind the scenes in the subtle energetic levels, the morphogenetic field, what's happening there, the restructuring, reprogramming, repatterning that's happening, how that's affecting our experience of life right now. And also, there's been a huge influx of universal love, universal light consciousness, how that's affecting us, how we're responding to that. All right, so sit back, relax, and I'll take you through some of these movements that we're in right now as I'm understanding it, okay? So I was just chatting with a friend this morning. We were tracking, something really big has changed. Don't know really how to express it or articulate it, but I feel it, I can really feel it. And it's like we're on a train ride. We're on the train. We're going along the track, tickety-boo, having our cups of tea, eating our snacks, reading our books, and look out the window and holy shit, we're not on a track anymore. We look out the window, the world that we knew it is not there. Maybe it's all white light. Maybe there's rainbows. Maybe it's foggy, gray. Maybe it's pitch black. Maybe you're flying through a galaxy. You're looking out the window going, holy geez, what? Does anyone else see? Is anyone else seeing this? And everyone's having their little snacks, their coffee, reading the newspaper as if everything's just normal. And you, as a sensitive energy being, are really feeling like we're not on the track of life that we used to be on. Is anybody else noticing? And then what to do? Enjoy some more snacks, have some more cups of tea and coffee. We're just going along here for the ride. We're going along here for the ride, and we're in good hands. Okay, we're riding on a big wave of universal love. It's a whole different way, a whole different track. Is it really happening? Can we trust that it's happening? Yeah. Alrighty. So I want to talk about unplugging from the matrix and withdrawal symptoms that you may be experiencing. Goodness knows, I've been feeling a lot of these things myself. Finally able to actually articulate some of this stuff. So what I've been noticing is in the old matrix system, we're really addicted and acclimatized and accustomed to feeling bad, okay? So we always felt insignificant, insufficient, in competition, playing the lack and greed game. We ran on a level of adrenalized fear, survival, competition, yeah? We lived in states of deception, illusion, delusion, fantasy, yeah? We're emerging out of that, right? Unplugging out of feeding our light into that system and then being fed back with a lot of negative levels of consciousness or dark essence, if you will, okay? So we've kind of been, addicted into this. Suddenly, the feeding tubes have been pulled. And we're going through withdrawal symptoms, coming off an addiction to a way of living, going through withdrawal symptoms, classic withdrawal symptoms, feeling irritable, restless, mood swings, really acutely dissatisfied, anxiousness running in the background, okay? Maybe you're experiencing levels of dysphoria, disillusionment. It feels like depression, apathy, fatigue, a deep, deep soul and world weariness of, oh, you know, like that, okay? Maybe you are experiencing all kinds of different levels of dysregulation in your sleeping, in your eating, in your diet, dysregulation in terms of body temperature, muscle fatigue, aches, pains, palpitations, ringing in the ears. Yeah. You may be feeling shaky, wobbly, physically, physiologically, emotionally, mentally shaky, disoriented, discombobulated, confused. Yeah. And you may be bordering on the line of delirium, like really kind of losing your grip on reality, because actually we have let go of the old reality. So if we're still trying to grip on to how things used to be, we might enter into kind of delirium kinds of states. Okay, so as I'm talking you through some of this here, I want to run some frequencies of stabilization in the background, okay? There's a lot of incoherence, a lot of chaos going on as we're going through this withdrawal out of the old way. We don't yet know where we are. We haven't like formed our receptor sites and our perception hasn't opened quite enough yet to really perceive where we currently are, okay? So just bringing some stabilizing into the background here. Just imagine you're still on your nice little train ride. You got your favorite little snacks. You're there with some good company. Yeah, some people are still tuned into the old world, but they're on the train. That's cool. That's good. All right. Okay. So as we're withdrawing out of these states of, again, low frequency states that were the normal operating state for life for a lot of generations here on Earth for humans, right? Okay, so on a biochemical level in our biochemistry, we adapted to have maybe like high levels of cortisol, right? Maybe like what we think of as normal levels of hormones like cortisol and those stress hormones. Maybe what we think is a normal level is actually a really, really high level, maybe, okay? So, so what's happening is we go into these states of expansion, influx of high frequencies of love, high frequencies of light. We suddenly, our body responds, our endocrine system responds. We may get like a burst of like serotonin or oxytocin, just, I had this experience a few weeks ago during a healing session. And it was kind of shocking how good I felt. Kind of weird, hey? Shocking to feel good. Well, the shock was actually how not good I had been feeling and what felt normal to me, what I felt like I was grounded and functioning and doing really well. Poof, all of a sudden that just expanded, okay? So a sudden flood of feel-good hormones come into our system, okay? Meanwhile, here's our body and our brain, trying to balance. Yeah, it's like, keep that homeostasis, keep us going through these massive rapid changes. What's the baseline for balance now? That's shifted. Yeah, so the whole body brain, it's working hard, really, really working hard, okay? There's so much new information coming into our systems, yeah? And it could be short-circuiting us in certain ways, okay? So literally there's like new neurotransmitters, new neural pathways that are actively being formed. So it's kind of like we are going through a very rapid, sudden growth period. So like we're experiencing growing pains, yeah? So if you are feeling fatigued, not able to focus, not keep up with the pace of life or commitments that you previously had. And you just, think of it that way. We're growing new neural networks. We got whole kind of new sets of neurotransmitters. Our hormones are changing. Our whole biochemistry is changing. I don't know if there's any way that, conventional kind of medicine can measure any of this. I think a lot of this is happening beyond the spectrum of our current scientific parameters of perception, okay? Those of you who are energy sensitive, deep feelers, yeah? You're tuned in at these levels. You know something big has changed. You know it, okay? So I'm just here to say, trust that. Trust those feelings. And as we're expanding our sensory capacities, are expanding to multi-sensory, yeah? Okay, so like a lot more information coming in. So we gotta trust the process here. Trust the process here. Kind of hard to do when our minds want to be in control and figure it all out here. That's why I like to try and give you some of these explanations and context to calm that part of the mind down, okay? Give you some metaphors. Okay, I could go with that. All right. Just keep riding along on our ascension train. Alrighty. Okay, so I want to talk about what's going on behind the scenes in the levels of our behind the scenes energetic structures. One of which is the morphogenetic field. So there's our information memory that holds the patterns and structures for what we perceive as real in the world of form here. Okay, it's subtle and dense, and subtle and dense. It's not just physical form. Yeah, thoughts also too. That's the subtle realm. Okay, emotions, feeling, energy. Yeah, that's all in the morphogenetic field as well. It's not just the hard substances here, okay? Just to be clear. So there's a big change, a repatterning and a reprogramming at the morphogenetic field level, okay? The previous settings, that old default settings that you were probably born with, most of us, right? That limited and regulated the states of consciousness that, so it would limit access to maybe higher states of consciousness and kept a homeostasis, if you will, of consciousness, of collective, consensus reality, yeah? So there are actually like limiters in that field that would veil, limit, that would have like an alarm system that would go off if your consciousness or your frequency started to rise and expand too much. Like an alarm system would go off, and all these different neurotransmitters would start to activate in your system to shut her down, get that person back down in the consensus reality field, that felt like we were in this kind of frequency fenced prison at times of like, no matter how hard we tried to get through, we'd get knocked back down again. So if you've been hard on yourself here, understanding self-sabotage, understanding we've had these settings, default settings, sitting in the morphogenetic field, sitting in our biochemistry, that would limit the states of consciousness that we could maintain while walking around in the old matrix, okay? That's all changing. It's all changing. It's unbelievable. On some levels, it's like, really? This is really happening? We got a lot of help, like upstairs, all over the place, beaming us with so much love and so much support to hold us and stabilize us through this phenomenal change that we're going through. Phenomenal, okay? And sometimes life just feels really mundane and ordinary. That's part of this kind of brain and body maintaining a state of homeostasis, where we get, oh my gosh, we are living in heaven on earth. Yeah, and I'm just having my bag of chips or Cheetos or whatever, right? Because, or binge watching my little TV series or whatever it is, we got to trust the process here. Yeah, and it's like a bit all over the place right now. It's more than a bit all over the place if you're really tuned in. Yeah, If you feel like you're losing control of certain areas, well, you sure are. You sure as hell are. Jeepers. All right. Okay. So our old programming system, we're adapted to live in a state of incoherence, cognitive dissonance, chaoticness, chaotic waves moving through. We just start to stabilize in some higher level of consciousness, and then some chaotic energy would move through and discombobulate, and you doubt yourself if you're having these experiences or if life seemed to be getting better, and then you're back and it's feeling bad. You're feeling bad again. Okay, all over the place here. All over the place. Right. Okay, so let's take a little pause here. I'm going to drop back in and run some frequency in the background again. Stabilizing frequencies, stabilizing us. Okay, coherency. Yeah, what is that? That's that field of universal love, light, support, stabilization. Yeah, while we're going through these waves of incoherent gaga goo goo and chaoticness, drop back and feel the stabilizing frequencies that are here to hold us. Yeah, like really, we're doing pretty well. Still up, walking around, doing our basic functioning here, troubleshooting, dealing with complicated things while we're going through massive transfiguration. Yeah, okay. All right, so I want to talk more about this influx of universal love. Literally, our systems and all levels are being flooded with universal love, flooded with higher frequencies of love that we haven't been exposed to, that haven't been running through our bodies, through our minds, through our consciousness. Yeah. So a lot of things we may be feeling. Okay. So with universal love, there's where we have coherency, wholeness, stability. Beings who live in the levels of universal love are here helping us, our teams, our higher levels, our higher selves, our legions of light, teams of support. Okay, yeah. So at an experiential level, we just think, oh my God, thank goodness universal love is here. I just want to drink that in, but it doesn't always feel that way. Okay, so what you might be experiencing, okay, that it might become painfully obvious to you, the places where you have been closed to love, okay, where you've denied love, where you learned how to survive with an absence of unconditional love, yeah, or pretended, I don't really need love, I can just keep going, I can just get by, I don't need it, I can go without it, yeah. Or in ways in which we became addicted to substitutions for love, codependencies, all kinds of substitutions to make us feel good, but we knew that really we're missing we were missing these frequencies of love, and we just had to keep going without them. And we did. And we survived under very, very harsh conditions indeed for generations and generations and generations. Okay? We've adapted, incredibly adapted, to live without these higher frequencies of love. Now that they're coming back in, we have to go through a readaptation. We have to reacclimatize our systems, quite rapidly to again expand into to live, breathe, and feel and be in these frequencies of love. Okay, so this may mean we are feeling feelings that we haven't been able to feel, that we've had feelings that have been denied, so we may be feeling deep waves of grief, of loss, of sadness, of remorse, like how much we've missed being connected to the greater universe through the quality of universal love. Yeah. You know, suddenly we may have these awarenesses of, good God, how did I survive? Doing this life review, looking back, like, how did I live like that? How did I do it? How did I bear it? It was so hard at times, yeah. And again, like, some people may have had their spiritual awakenings really early in life, or always had an awareness and lived through really hard times. Whenever you expanded and opened into the spiritual dimensions in life, whether that was a few years ago or really recently or a long time ago, it's going to be a little bit different. Yeah. It's going to be a little bit different as we're adapting and changing to receive the frequencies of love that we've been starving for. Okay. So what's happening? So, like, these walls of separation are coming down. The separation, like humans living in the matrix behind a wall, separated from the realms of light and universal love, universal principles. Yeah. So many of us have been, hopping over that wall and then coming back again, hopping over, coming back again. So many beautiful beings over thousands of years. It's been keeping that connection. There's working on the other side. I think finally what happened is, all the beings of light are like, okay, we got to give humans a break here. They've been working so hard. There's so many of them that are just about to give it up. So let's just blast this wall down. Let's just blast it. Yeah, let's just blast this wall down. So it's not a brick wall anymore. Maybe there's just some nice veils. There's some nice veils in place still here. Yep, as we re-acclimatize to the brilliancy, the intensity of universal love and eternal light. Okay, so there's a lot of help and support here to help us re-acclimatize. Okay, so, the question I ask myself every day is, can I trust that I'm fully supported by universal love? Most days the answer is no, I don't trust it. No, I don't know what this is. No, I can't really feel this, And so there's parts of ourselves that are still, have these old settings, default settings, where we resist or deny the presence of higher frequencies. Yeah. So we're working through doing our reprogramming here. Yeah. Our deconditioning. Yeah. And so what is this asking of us? Humble surrender to being deeply seen, recognized, and felt and acknowledged by higher consciousness, by our higher selves, by our families and teams and legions of light. May we humbly surrender to being seen and recognized in the depths of our fear and suffering, and in the heights of our brilliance. A lot of this suffering and fear that we've just hidden away, locked away, it's very resistant to being seen and recognized. Parts of ourselves that have felt so broken, so depleted, so lacking, insufficient. Yeah. So we go with humble surrender here, with a depth of compassion and appreciation for how we survived very harsh conditions. Yeah, and the incredible adaptability of a human being. Yeah, the capacity of a human heart is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Okay, so appreciating these past ways in which we survived, in which our ancestors survived, previous generations survived. Yeah, the resourcefulness, the creativity, to stay alive, to keep going. And we're doing this review right now. A lot of those strategies are now obsolete because we made it. We made it through. Yeah. Some of those things are going to get retooled, repurposed so that they're applicable in our lives as we continue to encounter turbulence and change and challenges. Yeah. Yeah. So we can up level a lot of those tools. Yeah. Those ways of adapting. There's a deep intelligence in our human systems, deep intelligence of adapting. Okay, so we want to bring that with us. So it's not, I want to chuck everything out. So there's a lot of inner alchemy, again, of reclaiming some of our strengths. Yeah, fortifying areas where we had weaknesses. Okay, a lot going on. What's going on again at a physiological level? New receptor sites, new neurotransmitters, so we can actually receive these higher frequencies of love into our forms. We can register universal love as real, as a living reality. Yeah. So again, this adapting, yeah, we need in order to receive these higher frequencies of love. All right. Okay. Whew. So again, just want to run some more frequency stabilizing frequencies in the background here. Now we've been talking about this field of universal love that's here to stabilize and support us through these transitions that we're making, through the depths of things that we are now able to feel. A lot of things we haven't wanted to feel, a lot of really hard things. Yeah. We have that support, and that love just keeps moving in. Yeah. So humbly surrendering to these higher forces, to these higher levels of intelligence from which we come from. Yeah. From which we are created. It's not like it's outside of us. It is us. Yeah. We're restoring our trust in our own divinity. And there's large groups of human beings that are going through this right now. You're part of a large group of human beings going through this process now. Yeah. So just remember, you're not isolated. You're not alone. And in previous times, this would be done off on tops of mountains and caves and monasteries and cloistered places to have containers to hold people through states of transformation, expanded states of consciousness, accessing levels of universal love and light. Yeah, we're doing this while we're living our very ordinary, mundane lives. So just remember that there's a level of mastery that you have, that you're remembering, that you're actualizing, and that you're also learning new things. You've mastered a lot of spiritual things in other timelines, other lifetimes, other lineages, spiritual lineages that have been with you. Yeah. And we're also kind of like beginners, learning things and doing things in a new way as well. So again, the humbleness here. Yeah. No, we can't figure it all out. No, we can't control it. Yeah. So just remember, again, I spoke about in the beginning, riding our ascension train, looking out the window, things are really different. A few things are still normal. Snacks and tea, cake, whatever, little chats with your friends, doing some crossword puzzles, whatever it is, that, maintains that balance while you're going through these big changes. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end here. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like the video, do subscribe. You'll get notifications of my new videos. If you like what I'm sharing and want to go a little bit deeper or a lot more deeper, pop over to my Patreon channel where I'm sharing a lot more over there. And I'll just keep offering up more insights to help you on your journey. All right, take good care. I'm just going to finish with a few more moments of stabilizing frequency. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.